How much do you think you should charge somebody for doing executive protection for them for 16 hours a day? Gunner, maybe. Okay. I like the answer. I like the answer. I like the answer. Okay. Up echelon. Okay. I like 1,200. Gun. I like 1,200. Okay. Star Michelle 2,000. I like that too. Right. Literally. So you guys are, who is that? Minimum $100 an hour. Okay. 1,000. I mean, are you saying is that 1,000 Bungie? The question, Warrior, was somebody calls you, yeah, US 1,500. I love that too. Somebody asks you to do regular time, first 8 hours, time and a half, double time, 12, 16. Okay, yeah, because somebody, all right, I got a couple of people this week, and they called. They want to take us on the road. I got a 5-man team. What they called last week before last. 5-man team. They want around the clock, pretty much security. So this is from waking hours, but at a minimum, it's going to be 16 hours a day. And Bungie, that detail is probably out the window. I'm definitely probably out the window. 16 hours a day for a 5-man team for 63 days straight. So I'm thinking as an entrepreneur, number one, I got to pay my guys. And two, again, lodging in hotel. And they asked me, so I quoted them a price and I gave them a fair price because my prices be way more than that. So I gave them a fair price. And somebody said 1,200, which is way below, but I'm giving them a break, right? So let's go with the $100 an hour times $1,600. And somebody said that price. And I think that's a fair price. $100 an hour to $1,600. But I said, okay, we'll do it for $1,200 because it's 60 days. So I'm gonna give you a break on the 60 days. So they've all but disappeared after they asked me, well, is hotel included in that, or do they have to pay hotel? I'm like, no, hotel is not included, because if you start digging into the hotel, and plus it's every day for 60 days. I don't know where my people need to be the next day or wherever it is. I don't know if we're going to go to a location and we're going to spend 5 days there. We're going to go somewhere else. But the hotel prices fluctuate, right? So I could say, yeah, hotel included, but we go to somewhere in a hotel that's $400 a night, $500 a night, right? So it eats into, if you say $1,000 or $1,200, then you actually made $700, and you still got to pay your team. And I try to pay my people pretty nicely, and we don't work 16-hour days. Most of the guys making that kind of money, we work at 8 to 12-hour days. So, I still need to make a profit as an entrepreneur, as a businessman. I still have to cover insurance, and then so the people kind of faded to black, And this is a new shit now. They don't even call you back and say, never mind, you cost too much. They just, hey, how much is this? And this is what we're doing, and you quote them the price, and then they disappear, right? So here is where I have a real problem with this shit, man. When somebody calls you, right, who's responsible they didn't even ask me about the flights, Bunch. They didn't ask me about the flights. They didn't ask me about the foods. They just said it was hotels included. So again, hotels, flight, and you working people for 60 days, and they want this detail around them. Here's the problem with this, all right? The whole problem with this. You can't work somebody for 63 days for 16 hours straight. That's my man.
What's up, baby?
What it do, baby boy?
How you, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man.
I see what you're doing over there.
What you see?
On those sticks, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm on the scans, bro, man. I was about to give a show, but the neighbor texted and said, hey, can you bang a little lighter? And I'm like, well, I ain't bang light. I ain't gonna bang at all.
Hey, here's the funny thing.
Oh no, kill it. What? When you saw that?
Man, I jumped back on this not too long ago, man. Probably about 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You been practicing?
I've been trying to get the rhythm back. You know what I mean? Kill some time, get some peace of mind, all that good stuff, man.
Yeah.
bread from the business of every day.
You gotta have an outlet, man. I play this. I got my bass guitar upstairs in my music room. So when I gotta shut this down, I go upstairs. I got my keys up there. I got my bass. I got my acoustics. So I do a little bit of everything.
Sure.
That's my outlet. And then getting back into your training with the martial arts stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then last night, man, I went fishing right at sunset, man. I caught me some catfish. And I didn't come in till 11 o'clock. Park closed at 8 o'clock. I was still out there. I was like, oh, they gonna come and lock me up, man. But I was in that joint, man, fishing. But you gotta have outlets from all of this stuff.
No doubt.
So listen,
Definitely. The
problem with what I find with a lot of clients, and sometimes I think it's other companies just calling trying to see what your prices are. They could just email me as a security company and say, hey, bro, how much you charge for this? Because it's all about information. I want people to win.
Right.
And it's not. Your price is not a set price for anything. It's all circumstances. It's who the person is. It's the risk, right? The threats. But more importantly, it's who you are.
All day.
All day long. It's your experience that you bring to the table, and people don't value that. It's like apples and oranges. You can't call this company. And I can't say I've yet to have it, because some of the people, they get it. So when they say, when they call, they say, oh, what's your price, and can you send your resume or your bio? Very few people call that. They just say how much it costs.
Yeah.
To save your life, how much does it cost? And you got to really knock it back over the fence and ask them, well, how much is your life worth?
That's right. That's right. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So have you been experiencing that kind of things? What kind of advice do you have for the people who are on here watching about that?
Yeah. I mean, listen, definitely. It starts with the value. Period. Just knowing who you are, right, and not overpricing yourself, and not overpricing yourself at the same time. Every person or every company can't be a client at the end of the day. So I mean, even if somebody's willing to pay you, $1,600, based on those 16 hours or whatever the case might be, that still doesn't mean that they should become a client. You still have to do your interview on them and then determine whether or not, you're going to take it. A lot of that is going to play into where you are, as a company and or as an individual, if you're just representing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously all the things are there, right? I mean, that's just my fee. It's just my fee for my time. Of course, that doesn't include anything else. Everything else needs to be covered up front. And to be honest with you, you need to give at least a 50 to 75% deposit
100%.
up front.
100%.
And and that's based off of the days. If you tell me it's 63 days, then guess what? 31 and a half, right? 31, call it even, right? 31, 32 of those days you're paying up front. And 50% of that is non-refundable. And then we still reserve the right? We reserve the right, not the client. We reserve the right to jump off if we deem, the job to be anything. It can be, not a safe environment for us. The client's not listening. The client's moving funny, not going off of your recommendations, whatever the case might be. You get one warning, right? You get one warning. And then after that, you have to make the conscious decision on, on how you're going to proceed with that. I get it. A lot of guys are still breaking in, to this thing and trying to get to certain levels. And that's cool and that's okay. But, a lot of guys stay on this thing for the money and then end up jacking themselves up for the long run. And then the money wasn't worth it, depending on what the case might be. But, know your worth, period, right? Know your worth. And then at the same time, I will say, some folks can't come out the gate charging $1,600, $2,000, and you don't have the past performance or capabilities to support it. You don't have the background. Your references aren't going to check out. Et cetera. If you can't back up what you're pushing, then you need to be a little more conscious about what you're pushing out there. But I have certainly been getting those kind of calls, for certain. You know, people just inquiring, want, you know, and then when you give them the number, they don't want it. I think we're at a place. When I say we're, I'm talking about you and I, because we've had this conversation. You know, we're at a place, you know, in this thing in our careers where uh, we can be choosy, right? It's either you want to pay it or you ain't, right? And we could be choosy. So we're not having to you know, to jump at the bone on every little thing, or every person that comes through, or every company that comes through and say, hey, you know, hey, I got this $100,000 budget, or you know, or off the top, they just say, sure, 1,600 is not a problem, let's get it done,
Mm-hmm.
right? It still
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean you have to jump at that, right? You still got to do your
Mm-hmm.
due diligence. You know, you still got to figure out who the client is, et cetera, et cetera, et
Mm-hmm.
cetera.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and if it's good and if it works, great, go for it. If it's not, then you know you should be um, business minded enough to treat your business like a business and understand that, you know, hey, some things just can't happen. Don't let that dollar, because at the end of the day, I mean, hell, you on the road for 63 days, you got a team of 5, you know, you getting that kind of money. Trust me, you're gonna burn through a lot of that money over the course of those 63 days. So when you get back and then you're looking at what you have sitting, possibly sitting or coming in because they still owe you the balance, you know, then you're kicking yourself, right? So
Yeah.
just got to be really conscious, man. Just really conscious about what you're taking, how you know, how you're moving with it. And again, how you're selecting your clients. Just because they called you don't mean that they selected you. You select them.
That's right. That is absolutely right. I told a guy today, because I had another call, somebody that really respects me, and they told him like such and such. There's a detail, and I turned part of it down because they asked me, could I, well, you know, as a detail Bungie, you worked this detail with us I think last year. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's a high level government official, and they asked us, did the person asked for us specifically. They say, "Hey, is Key them coming back?" Because they were instrumental in, you know, making it go how it's supposed to go for us, because they had an actual incident with the principal,
Yeah.
and we were just there doing something else, and they said, "Can you help us out here?" And I said, "Sure, I got people of that caliber." Then it got so crazy. It got down to money. It took them like 4 or 5 months to pay me my money, because I was like, no, what we were doing, that wasn't what initially, and what you asked us, those are two separate things,
That's it.
right? We were doing corporate security. Then you asked us to do executive protection work. That caused something different.
That's
And they
right.
was like, oh, no, you was just escorting out. No, that's, you call it what you want.
Yeah.
What we did was executive protection work. So anyway, and I told him, I said, listen, if people don't see my value and they worried about the price, I don't want to work with them.
That's right.
I'm gonna keep it plain and
That's
simple.
right.
That plain and simple. They can pay me whatever. But you don't see my value, I don't want to work with you. What's
That's
up,
right.
Mitch? Yeah. So what you
Look
said,
at
like,
Bullock. What's up, Bullock?
Mitch, I got some videos and stuff from that class. I'm gonna start posting up on you too, man. I just been hard to post. That's why I've been on Instagram a lot, man. I just been super busy, you know, doing other stuff, and then I spend a lot of time on the YouTube trying to build my channel up over there. But I wanted to say something else to you too. That what you said, right? So I did the math on the number. So I'm giving them a break. It should have been 1,600, so I said, okay, I'll do it for 1,200, right? And I can still pay the guys good. You know, I can still walk away with $300 or $400 per person, so $1,500 a day, right? So I started doing the math, and I think it was like $223,000 for the 6 days. Good lick when you're thinking about broad terms, right? But when you think about realistic, nobody can work fucking 60 days, 63 days for 16 hours a day. So now I'm thinking,
Nope.
I got to get the fellas some relief, or they're gonna burn out. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And ladies, excuse me, I don't want to say. So now I got to fly people in, put them into the hotels, give people days off. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and then mix them with the team. So that's eating into the 223. And so maybe my 1,500 a day ain't 1,500 a day.
That's right.
Maybe it's 300 a day. Maybe it's 500 a day. And when I start doing the math for the headache for somebody who don't respect me, you keep your money. I don't care how much it is.
That's
I
right.
don't even want to
That's
do the details.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All day.
Yeah. So I mean, how can you? If I give a guy say, okay, 800, I'm gonna get $800 a day, and somebody, when I say 800, people eyes probably get big. But
Yeah.
me and you ain't worked for $800 a day in how many years?
Man, listen,
20?
we were charging what, a minimum 1,200 was the
Yeah.
minimum based off of an 8 hour day. That was back in 1819, right? The
Yeah.
minimum. And that
Yeah.
was based off an 8 hour day. Anything over 800, was $175, $200 an hour
Yeah.
after that. And
After that.
we had corporations dropping it.
Yeah.
Dropping it.
Yeah.
Dropping it. Okay, fine. We're going to send you 250,000 now
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
cover the first month,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. So,
Yeah.
and they're still out there, right? They're still out there, and that's the thing. I mean, being able to use, companies like the ones I just mentioned as references, strong references. Corporations got to understand. It's funny that you say that because probably not even a month ago ran into the same situation and a similar situation. Let me say that corporation. Not so much an individual for executive protection, but more so the executive the suite, the whole C-suite. A whole C-suite was doing something for about 2 weeks, and it was the same thing, right? They're like, look, we're corporate strong, et cetera. We're financially, strong. Our first 2 quarters, we're above revenue at almost 40%, above scale from what that time of year was basing in. And its simple question was, do you have a corporate card? Right? And yeah, we got a corporate card because it was a last minute thing. So yeah, we have a corporate card. Okay, cool. Here's the invoice.
Run
Pay
me
it.
my money.
Pay it. Right?
Yeah,
I
pay
mean,
it.
at the end of the day, I mean, if you're talking about a corporation and these corporations are doing, tens, if not, 100 millions of dollars a year, strike that corporate card, no problem, right? And then when you're dealing with executives, I can guarantee you, if you're dealing with a H&W of a corporation, you can almost rest assured that they have a black card. Don't be afraid to not even ask, but to demand, this deposit, up front. If they don't do your pay for your invoice, by ACH wire, whatever the case might be up front. If it's a last minute thing, we really need you out here. Can you get out here tomorrow, the next 48, 72 hours? We sure can. However, it's not going to be, we're not going to wait for a wire. We're not going to wait for ACH. What we're going to do is we're going to send you a credit card authorization, and boom, you go ahead and you take care of that tab. And if they're about that business, they will. And if they're not, they'll disappear, like you said.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I mean, listen, man, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's a wonderful thing to be able to be choosy, to be able to be picky about who you service. But again, um, it's the thing. Some used to say you fall. What was it? You fall for something. You fall for anything, right?
Yeah, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything.
There it is. There
Yeah.
it is. And
Yeah.
and that's the whole thing, right? So you got to stand for yourself. I mean, if you know that this is your worth, you know you can back it, and you know that you can prove it. Guess what? Don't walk away from your
Yeah.
number. Don't
Yeah.
walk away from your number.
Yeah.
But again, for a lot of the guys who are, just truly breaking into the business at this scale, right? Even if you've been in the business, 5+ years, but you're just now getting to that corporate scale and higher, I would say don't overprice yourself, but don't do yourself an injustice as well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Know how you're billing yourself, and take care of your finances. Because again, 63 days you go out there, like you said, man. Nobody's running in that kind of environment 16 hours a day for 63 days without having to back up. And then put that in your contract too. Put it in your contract if you have enough time, and you always have enough time, because at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
even if they
I'm
need you
listening.
there in 24 hours, um, if they need you there in 24 hours, it's the same thing. For that kind of number, you
Mm-hmm.
simply you simply take the time out of your day from whatever you were doing, because if you know you're getting out of there in 24 hours because you want to accept it, take that 2 or 3 hours, write up that contract, and include all of the things that must be in there. Clearly, it should be a standard across the board that all of your travel, all of your lodging, and even with your lodging, make sure that your lodging is sufficient to your liking. You're not going to be staying. You're not going to be staying in the Marriott Marquis in Manhattan. Then you put me over in Jersey City in the Super 8. It's
Yeah.
not going to happen. Nah,
Yeah, because they
nah,
try that shit too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then they'll tell you, okay, we'll put the lead over here with us, with the client, and but the rest of the team, we're going to put over at this. No, no, you're going to put my entire team in the same hotel that we're in. Period. And
Mm-hmm.
if you don't, we can't do it. We
Mm-hmm.
just can't do it. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And when you get to our level, man, and I'm not. I'll stay in the room with you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're
right,
my man.
exactly.
But I'm not. I've had people say, "Yeah, we're gonna put y'all in the room." I'm saying, first of all, I'm the fucking leader, and I'm not staying in the room with nobody.
You better believe
You
it.
know, I'm
And look, and
like,
even the rooms we stayed in weren't just rooms.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
No,
exactly.
you listen, and they have to understand that though, right? They have to
Mm-hmm.
understand that, and so you're going to put us in suites, right? That are going to be, if we have to be in the same suite, connected to the client, possibly whatever case might be, you're going to put us in suites, 2-bedroom suites and above,
Mm-hmm.
and you saw what we were doing,
Mm-hmm.
so it is what it is. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It
you
is
know.
what it is.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I was definitely.
but they'll respect that, and not only will they respect it, give you the business, they'll continue to give you that business, and then they'll even start referring you out. So at least referring your company out. Now they may say, hey, they may choose you. We're going to give you additional clients and business, but you can't work for them. Your teams can, but you got to stay with us, and that's cool. That's cool. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
So,
man.
what would you recommend? Since there's a lot of people in this game, man, what are some things you would recommend for them to be successful?
Um, just in general.
Yeah, yeah, in general. Like if they do you because we just talked about a lot of new people. First of all, what should they expect coming in? Go from training to from no training to training and to advanced level. What should they expect? What kind of pay should they expect coming in?
I mean, coming out the gate, breaking into it right after training.
No training first.
Oh, no training whatsoever.
Yeah,
Uh, what should they expect in
yeah,
pay?
yeah.
Oh man, um, man, listen, no training. I mean, I hate to say it, but you are at that point at the bottom of the barrel. With no training means that you have no past performance. You may
Hmm.
have capabilities, right, depending on what your background is and where you came from, and that's nice, right? I mean, you get guys all the time, coming through our trainings, coming through our mentoring sessions, etc. You get guys all the time who capabilities is a long list, right? They've come from law enforcement. They've done SWAT. Maybe even they've been through executive protection through an actual department. Maybe they've come out the military with certain experience and they've done the same. Maybe they were just private sector and just worked their way up private sector, but they've never been to the scale of executive protection or higher, and now they're breaking in. Um, Without the actual past performance, you really can't demand to hire them out, right? So I would even still say, guys breaking in base level, I still wouldn't do anything less than 500 a day.
Mm,
And that's based on an 8-hour day, right? Um, but that's also realizing that again, I don't have that past performance, right? So now I still need to develop that past performance, build myself, etc. But as you start doing that, and then you get into, obviously, taking the training, getting into to some good mentorship groups, sessions, whatever the case might be. Um, then now you can add the educational piece and the actual training, in terms of all the practical live training, behind you. Um, but it's still going to take the actual work, because if your resume, if your resume says, yeah, again, I have all this training, but clients and experiences is at zero, you really have no ground to stand on, no ground to even fight against. Um, get with individuals, right? Get with individuals like yourself, me, and whoever else, and you know offer up your services. Try to lobby your way in respectfully and professionally, with individuals. You may see us on this live, and and we're just talking real and we're cool and everything, right? But that doesn't mean you can send me a email or a DM and saying, "Hey, what's up, bro? I saw you." I'm going right by you, and that's just real, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be respectful. I'm gonna probably hit you back and say, "Hey, thanks for reaching out," whatever the case might be. But for those individuals that hit me up, like like we grew up together, or like we break bread, and like we've done shit together. Excuse the expression. I'm gonna go past you and go
Okay,
to the.
Mitch. Hold on one second, Mitch. I
Got
was
you.
trying to bring you on. My bad. Okay, we'll get you the next time. What's up, Daryl? Go ahead. My bad,
Oh no,
Gunner.
you good? And and get to and go over to the individuals that are coming across professionally. And it's, is it part of a respect thing? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. But outside of that, it also lets me know how you likely are and will deal with people that I put you in front of, right? Um, and so then we go from there. But yeah, now base level, I mean, again, 500 would be the lowest. And then again, that 500 is based off of an 8-hour day,
I want
right?
to jump. Can I jump
Sure.
in? So you're really gracious because I think they shouldn't. I think that's way too much to be asking for something when you ain't had no training. So I always tell people, you go without training, you gonna start about $250 to $300 a day, and then people might work, especially people in the entertainment industry. They gonna work. That's gonna be an 18-hour day.
Oh, they're
Somebody
going to
20
work.
for that in the
Absolutely.
entertainment business.
Absolutely. They're going to
Matter of
work.
fact, I could tell. Well, God damn it! I just was in New York, and
Right.
I ran into a person who already knew who I was, and they was working with a particular celebrity, and they told me that the person that they were working for, see, Big French got 250 as a beginner, right? That's right, French. He said he is armed, and he worked 18 to 20 hours a day, and he only make $240 an hour for a A-list celebrity.
See,
And I said,
that's not the gig you should be on.
yeah, yeah. And I told him, I asked him about the training. He's like, no, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, man, that is 100% insane.
Yeah.
And he's been in the game for a little while, but he works in that hip hop industry. But nonetheless, nonetheless, I tell everybody, once you get the training, you double your money. So if you 250, 300,
Yep.
you go 500, 600.
Mm-hmm.
And then with time, you graduate 700, 800,000, 1,200, 1,500, 2,000, depending on who you are, who you with, and what you're
Yeah,
doing. Um,
definitely.
so, I mean, that's why I was, so you were very, very gracious on that. And then I think I just took the answers from the rest of the answers because I was going to ask you which training, how much, and then, so I mean, that's that's where I stand with
Yeah,
it.
definitely. Definitely.
So, and I do want to touch on something else because you said it's almost as that when people reach out because they see our skin tone, I mean, automatically it's brother, it's a cultural thing. And then some of it is just new generation. This is just how everybody talk.
Right.
But I think at the moment that and I'm not stuck on any titles or none of that stuff. So the moment I hear somebody say, bro, dog, put me on, fly me in, how I get down with your team, all of that stuff, the moment I think I'm beyond you don't respect me, my first thought is you don't respect the game.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
You don't respect the
That's
game.
right.
And if you want to do business with me, do business. If you want to be friends and hang out, call me dog, whatever. I'm gonna call you dog back. I'm gonna slap hands with you. We're gonna have some beer, drink some whiskey, look at some women, all of that.
Yeah.
Because that's how you came at me, so that's how I'm gonna treat you. And I'm gonna respect you for that. But if you want and they see a gunner or somebody on what's up, Ty, or they see somebody who's been in the business for a long time and they're actually doing things, to me, that's a Mr. or a Sir.
Yeah.
That's it.
Definitely.
Hey, sir, how are you? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to do business. I'm trying to get some of that money you getting.
Absolutely.
And I know you're the person that can show me how to get it. But so why not respect the person, but more importantly, respect the game?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I 100% agree. 100% agree. And hopefully, hopefully guys that are watching this that might be new to it, hopefully y'all take this. Hopefully y'all take this knowledge and you hold it deal and you act accordingly. Because I can tell you right now, there's a ton of guys that I have overlooked for jobs because of that. because of their approach. Your initial approach is, again, like, you know me, like I'm your boy.
Yeah.
We can't do that. We
Yeah, they're
can't
trying
do
to
that.
reduce you to their level. Like y'all want to,
Yep.
like it's equal playing field. It's not an equal. If it was equal
Yep.
playing field, you wouldn't even be
That's
calling me.
right.
You know what I mean? If you did call me, you'd be saying, "Hey, bruh, I got a gig. I want to put you on." You know what I'm saying? If you
That's right.
call me, bruh, and say, "Hey, you want to put me on something?" First thing I'm gonna say, "All right, cool. How much?" And then I know because you called me, bruh. You know, you probably ain't got the money to pay me anyway. But you're absolutely right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely
You
right.
know, I mean, because, hey, listen, at the end of the day, if I was Mr. Rosenberg or Mr. Amon, you know, or something of that nature, would you approach me the same way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
So
anybody can answer that for us. If it was a white man or Asian man, or what would you call him? Would you call him, bro? If you saw him, or if you saw him on Instagram or you saw him LinkedIn, would you pop in their DM and call him, bro, and ask him how to get on the job? Would y'all do that? Somebody answer that for me.
please do.
And in the meantime, we can keep on talking. And one of the things that you said, Gunner, is that I used to respond. I used to like, look, I'm giving them game I'm giving them in the game in the inbox, but it got so much that I'm like you, I just go ahead and ignore it now. I
Yeah.
just ignore it altogether.
Yep. Yep. And that's it. That's it. I mean, you know, I will say some guys will start off with the approach that way, and then towards the end of their message, kind of clean it up some. You know, so I may follow up with them. And there's been quite a few where I've actually called them and told them about their approach,
Me too.
right? And
Me
told them
too.
that it almost got them a non-response, right?
Me too.
And honestly, a lot of those guys have turned out to be pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of them they do go that route because of the color, right? Because they see us and they think that, okay, they black, so, you know, let me approach them as bro, brother, my man, you know, whatever the case might be. But no, you can't, right? You can't, and you shouldn't. It's not even so much that you can't. It is that you can't, but I think it's more so even you shouldn't, you know, because again, at the end of the day, you get looked over. What, last year, 2 years ago with the Hawaii thing, right? Where we were sending guys out there for the relief. Man, I probably got over 250 responses, and there was at least 60, 70 that was just straight out ignored. And that's because of their initial approach. I just went right by them, you know, but the ones where it was, hi sir, my name is, you know, John Doe. I saw you on the live. I got your information from such and such. I would love to be a part of, you know, their approach from the very beginning was professional and respectful. And then when I looked at, you know, their resumes, their CV forms, whatever the case might be, I was able to say, okay, this is certainly somebody I'm going to respond to. And those are the guys who got selected. You know, even the guys that are over there now, overseas right now.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those,
Mm-hmm.
probably
Mm-hmm.
minus maybe two, right? Because one I knew personally, and another one came through a recommendation. But the other ones, you know, I'm talking about guys, and I think I may have told you this, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago. Some of these guys were coming from areas very respectful, right? But coming from areas that weren't metropolitan, right? Coming from Montana, coming from Wyoming, right? Coming from Wisconsin, right? Who look just like me and
Oh, wow.
you know, et cetera, you know. But they were very respectful in their approach, and they were very professional with their approach as well. And then also their, oh shoot, hold up, this battery about to go.
Okay.
Very, very professional in their not just their approach, but
Mm-hmm.
their resumes, their bios. You know, guys already had their CV forms, you know, so I have to ask for that, you know, and so
Mm-hmm.
that's a plus. Um, and then, you know, they had the past performance. You know, again, the capabilities were certain there, but they had the past performance, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and not only did they have the past performance, a lot of the guys um, with their past performance will send you the information as to how to actually verify their past performance. You know, the phone numbers, the emails. You know, and then you obviously you do your due diligence. You call these companies, you speak on them, and let them know you're doing, reference background, etc. And then you decide if you're going to select or not. But past performance is certainly key in terms of the amount. Starting out the gate, and then like you said, once you get done with training, then sure you can double that amount from that 250 to 400. But I say 500, and I say that mostly because I know where guys want to be, and even without the training, if you have, let's be real, if you have the capabilities and the vernacular to actually present yourself, you might be able to get on, some of these gigs. But again, you also have to have the intellect to know that I'm not pushing out 16 hours for $500. Do the math and see what you're actually making per hour.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, if that's your worth, then, so be it. But once you start rolling that way, you can see $31 an hour. That's high level, considered high level security, not executive protection, right?
Right.
And so
you can get that. Yeah, right. You can get that being a security guard
all day and stay home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For 8 hours.
And maybe
right.
even get some benefits with it, right? So
right.
I'm just saying, so being able to take the two and understand, where the two. Oh, your girl just did she's starting a live.
Who was that?
Mech Monroe.
Oh, Mech. Yeah, Mech. Yeah, okay. I ain't talked to her in a minute.
Okay.
Right.
But yeah, no. So, I mean, listen, that's it. That's it. Understand the worth, and not even so much just your worth, but the industry worth as well, right? Based off of your experience. Realize that clients deal with folks all the time, especially if they've been, if you're dealing with management, tour managers, producers, executive producers, whatever the case might be, who's been doing this for a while, so they know what backgrounds they can be getting. But at the same time, they also know where, and this is pertaining to the entertainment industry, they also know, that they can go get, whoever from wherever who doesn't have the experience, and they know that they can pay them 250 and have them work, like you said earlier, have them push out 12 to 18 hours a day. The thing is are you going to fall in that same category, or are you going to try to, show where you have a difference between how you operate, and what you bring to the table versus them. Corporate wise, it just it ain't there.
No, it ain't there.
And if you come out the gate 250, 400, 500 even, corporate wise, a lot of them will probably pass over you, because they're automatically going to say, all right, well, he's cheap and there's a reason why, right? And so when they look at your resume, or when they look at you, they're going to make that determination that, no, right now, if you come out the gate and you're at 800,000, plus, then the tables start turning just a little bit. What do you say? What's up, Prince? I see you, sir.
Yeah, I see Prince, my man Florin Duda. He just joined. Florin up in New York has a thriving security company up there. Florin, I was up there for 3 weeks, man. After the class, we didn't even connect, and it was crazy. I was putting in long days like they were EP details. So I will be back in probably 2 weeks, and so we'll connect. Florin is a good guy, man. So you guys, if I drop a name on here, please follow them. These people could be instrumental to your growth in the industry, and also create opportunities for you, because we get a lot of people. Gunnar has a mentoring class. I have an EP class. And we get a lot of people who come to our classes really not even for the education, right? They come to try to get the connection, which is good. And
good. Yeah.
But I'm just one person. But when you sit in the class, I think in this particular class that we had in New York, we had like 3 different business owners in there.
Yep.
who are already doing executive protection. Florin was one of them. He was already doing it, and he had been through schools before. But he said, let me retrain myself. Let me
Mm-hmm.
see what the industry is doing new. And then also, just build up, continue to build on the skills. And I said, Tiger Woods is good. Steph Curry is good. Floyd Mayweather was good. All these people were good. But Floyd Mayweather, he was in the ring by himself, but he had people in his corner. And he said, hey, tell me what you're seeing out there. Okay, what I'm seeing is he throwing a jab, where you want to bob to the left when he throw the jab and then slip the hook. Slip the uppercut. So you got somebody in your corner, and I think that's so good. People underestimate the value of people like yourself and myself bring to the industry. One, yes, we could give you an opportunity, but when you step foot in my class or your seminars or the things that you do, I'm actually looking to hire somebody.
Absolutely.
You're looking for a job, but I'm actually looking to hire somebody that I could take to the next level.
Absolutely.
But it all goes back to your approach, your character. If you show up late, if your hygiene is there, and I'm trying to, if we got 20 people, I want the best 2 people out of that class. If I get 3, if I get 4, fine. But normally you probably going, my last class, I think everybody but one guy, man, I would probably put on the detail. Yeah. And that's a big statement. Yeah. That's a big statement because they had the character, they picked up the skills, they actually got it. And I said my classes are getting better and better. And I like to, acknowledge you, man, because we laid the foundation on this together. And a lot of people hate us for breaking out and starting these training courses of all the whole rainbow of people, the whole color. They didn't like that we were doing it like they were supposed to be the only people doing it. We've been doing this for a long time on a whole bunch of levels. Yep. And we can help people get to where they want to get. But remember, you're also competing with these other 10, 15, 20 people in this class, but you don't necessarily have to compete for our attention. While you're doing that, you're missing out on the opportunities of the other people who are sitting in these classes.
That's right. That's right. And, and it's funny. I called you 2 weeks ago, 2 maybe 3 weeks ago for somebody in Tennessee.
Yeah,
you sent me.
As a matter of fact, he was just on here. I don't know if he's still on here.
Was he on here?
No. You know what? Ty the guard was on here. Okay, Donovan. Yeah.
Listen, Ty. Whew.
You met Ty?
Oh yeah. No, physically, actually, Ty and I haven't met physically. We've talked and we've been communicating, but just watching his growth from when, because remember, you and I was rocking when Ty first came through the door.
Yeah.
And so, seeing the difference from then to now and what he's doing is unbelievable. And I called Ty maybe a week ago and just gave him his roses. It wasn't about nothing, but just simply giving him his roses on a personal call. It was just like, look, man, like I love what you're doing. I love what you've done. I love the direction that you're continuing to go in. So Ty is definitely a star in this field. But getting to your guy, and I'm gonna say his name, Burleson. I called you up. I called you up for a client. What was it? The next day, you sent me his information. He was very professional from the moment that we spoke. The whole transaction, the transition from our conversation to him covering the client the next day. He went out and made some good money in 4 hours, right? He got paid within, I think, 2 or 3 days of that. But what was more beautiful was the client literally hit me up 2 days later. And I think I may have told you that, hit me up 2 days later and gave him praises. And that's something that he doesn't do all the time. He'll say, he'll let me know if the agent was good, bad, or, was great. But he gave him praises, man. And he specifically took the time out of his day to hit me up just to tell me that. You know what I mean? And so that's a reflection of his training, right? That's a reflection of where he came from, what he learned, in your class, and then how he's taken his craft seriously. So he'll probably, be called a lot in Tennessee, seeing as though that's one of his bases. But yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? So it's small things like that, right? You can come through a class having no background, some background, a lot of background, but the way you represent yourself in that class, because you didn't have to go to him. But he stuck out enough in your class that as soon as I asked you for that area, it was already there.
Yep.
And you put me in contact with him. So again, that was a one-off on that particular time, but I can guarantee you this. Between now and December 31st, I can guarantee you he'll probably work 10 to 15 more times for that client. I can guarantee you that.
And for y'all
Guarantee you
who
that.
don't know, Donovan is the guy on my page. You scroll down, he's the one in front of the White House. You know what I mean? He just finished class. As soon as he finished class, boom, I put him on details back to back. Because if they shop, I can sleep at night. You know, some of these cats you can't sleep at night, but Donovan is one. I want to give people their roses too. Donovan, if I just saw Protected EP, Shelby Blake. Shelby Blake graduated from class, him and Daryl Jones. You know Daryl.
Yes, sir.
They ain't stopped working yet. They've been all over the world since they came to our class.
What's up?
All over the world. And matter of fact, I look at them and I get jealous. I'm like, I ain't never been in the safari in the Congo. You know what I'm saying? These brothers, there you go. He right there. He just gave it 100. Hey, tell me if you want to come on for a minute, bro. I'd love to have you on. Let me know. But Shelby, Daryl Jones, Donovan, Tyler God, Bungie, Candace, all of these, man, this is the next level, because you and I, we can't live forever and we can't do this forever, right? We just got to pass the baton. But when we go, I want to, like you want to be able to pick up your client, pick up the phone and say, I'm tapping out. I'm going to spend time with my grandchildren. I'm about to go fishing or whatever I'm going to do.
Yep.
But these are the people right here that you need to call.
That's right.
This is next generation. Okay, let me know when you're ready, Shelby. I'd love to bring you on. Daryl, too, if you want to come on, I'd love to bring you guys on. Y'all can talk about your experience. And that's it. And so I just, I always wonder, I don't know how many white people versus Hispanic people versus black people on here. I always wonder why our people don't take the next step. Like, why, I mean, as always, they want to bro their way in.
Yeah.
Man, my damn phone battery down. I'm going to have to take this out. I don't know why this is. Why we want to bro our way in? Why we don't take the next step? Why do we don't feel as valuable? I've heard people say, "Oh yeah, I've been doing this for 18 years. I've been doing this for this many years." Well, okay, but why? If you've been doing it for this, you've just been lucky thus far. But why? Why? If you want to say you're the best at the game, like I say, Floyd Mayweather got somebody in the corner. Steph Curry, he's the best. Go down, he's the best 3-point shooter all time. He got a coach. Right. The coach might not be good as him, but the coach can see with eyes that he can't see.
Right.
He can look at Steph Curry can't see his form. The coach looking from the outside saying the form. You know what I mean? We're guiding these people along their way in their path.
That's right.
But I see when our people that look like us, they just, I think they think it's good enough. And a lot of people think it's, I know, Florin, a lot of people think it's about shooting, because I see a lot of that stuff on, and you guys rarely ever see me. I think the last shooting video I did was with you when we were shooting the business cards in half. I don't need that, but I'm gonna be in that gym. You know what I mean? Cardio, weight training, martial arts. But the more important part is studying the craft and studying how to move. And that's why I will never work with anybody who hasn't been trained. And even when they been trained, I want to know where they've been trained at. Because all these videos, reviews that I'm doing of government security teams, people who work with high-profile celebrities, and when I'm breaking it down, I clearly see they haven't been trained or they haven't trained together by the way that they respond to certain incidents. And so you don't want to be an incident. Not only is your principal's life on the line, your life is on the line as well, and you dependent on somebody that you don't know nothing about, and that person knows nothing about the craft, and you just bringing them on because they try to bro their way in.
That's right. That's right. 100%. 100%.
So,
see, martial arts is very important. Mm-hmm. Soft skills is the key. Health.
Yeah, we're looking at some of these comments. So, guys, ask questions. Bungie will tell you this. Bungie said he was about to throw it all away. Bungie said, I was going to throw it in. I was going to throw the towel in. He said, I went to these classes, people talked a good game, and, nobody was giving me an opportunity. And then he said, take one more gamble. I think Bungie been to 2 or 3 classes. He came to our class. He learned a different way of doing things. His character played out. His passion for the job played out, that this is somewhere he wanted to be, and he got a call.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you right now, it's changed his life, and he's been rolling ever since. And that I wish I could tell you I gave him, $10,000 to say that, but Bunchy he'll tell you that I never gave him anything. I just gave him an opportunity because I saw who he was.
Right.
Um,
That's a good comment from My Strategies.
yeah. He said he was part of the class. It was a great class. I've been doing this for 14 years. Thank you, Florin. And we got work to do, Florin. So I ask you guys, what's up, Ghost Protection? Alex, another dude, man. Make sure that you follow Gunner, Florin, and Gunner, that you follow them too, guys.
Absolutely.
Naming out these Bullock Firearms Training is a person that you need to follow. MAI Strategies, Gunner Detail, Protect the EP. That's Shelby Blake and Daryl Jones. Make sure you follow them. Aries Defense. Make sure you follow them. I'm shouting all these names. You guys can scroll up through here. Just the names that I'm dropping. Those are people that you want to know in this industry. And guys, we got Protect the EP. All right, so this Shelby Blake. Shell, what's up? What's up, man?
What's going on? What's going on, Ghana? How you doing, sir?
You looking good, man. How are you?
Good. I see y'all talking good knowledge on here. Daryl told me to get on the live, so I was on the live.
Yeah. I love these dudes right here. I love these dudes right here.
Yeah, so
what you been up to? Where you at? What you doing? Give me some.
I leave back out tomorrow. I gotta go to Raleigh for a week, and then I think 2 to 3 weeks after that, I gotta go back to Brazil. I just came from Brazil.
Very nice.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, I was in Brazil for a scouting trip for 4 days, and I gotta go back out there for a month.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
so yeah,
sir.
I took my EP class back in April 2023. It was the best experience I ever took in my life. So back then when I took my course, I was locked in on class. Like Mr. Key probably give us like 10, 15 minutes breaks. I used to always just sit there, just go over my notes, and then go home. Then the next morning, right back to it again. And then I remember like the last day of class was over. I think a couple my guys that was in my class, they all was out of towners. They went out in the area because I'm from the DMV area. They went out to celebrate. I ain't even go celebrate. I just went home and it was just wondering when the ball was going to just hit. And then class was over Sunday. Tuesday, I seen Dries post a detail in New Jersey, like a week detail. And I hit him up, like, hey, man, I'm trying to get on that detail. He was like, you live in D.C.? I said, yeah. He was like, you willing to drive out here? I said, absolutely. So he gave me that opportunity. I took that drive out there, and I did good with that. And
Nice.
I've been working ever since. I ain't taking no breaks off. I ain't really celebrate. I just been locked in, focused. I be trying to come back to some of the classes when Mr. Key having, but I'm always on the detail when it's time to come back. But I always chime in and try to hop on these lives and
That's all right.
stuff like that. So I be happy to see like all the new faces in the industry, and I'm still learning from the guys that paved the way. You know what I'm saying? So every time I get an opportunity, I try to like get all the knowledge from the lives and anybody across the world. And I met Daryl through Mr. Key. We took our course at 2 different times, but Mr. Key contacted me with him, and now that's like my right hand man on every detail we on.
That's what's up.
Yep.
And then how long was it after you took the class that you started? When you started with the gig you with now?
You called me. It was like, I think it was like July. I think it was like a July, and then they wound up calling me back on that August and 23, and I've been with them ever since.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And how many places? Well, tell me the places that you traveled to.
So I've been to Africa. I've been to Johannesburg, Kenya, Kingston. I've been to the UK, Paris. I went to Hawaii. I don't know. I gotta look at my passport.
Hey, that's good. That's good when you can say that.
Had you traveled international before that?
No, I wasn't even traveling international before that. Yeah.
Nice. And what was you doing before you came to class? What kind of work you was doing?
I was working at Amazon.
Okay.
I was working Amazon, I told myself like, man, I'm ready to go to a different path, man, and do something that I like doing. Amazon, like, it was cool, but it wasn't something I could see myself doing long term. So it's crazy how Mr. Key classes popped up on my Instagram, and I just took my last like $2,000 and just invested.
Nice.
And it's been life changing ever since. So even when I'm home, like I be like, I'll work. Like if he ever called me, I never turned down no gigs or nothing unless I was already gone, and I still come work. So I never got big headed because where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I still would come home and work. It don't matter.
I love it, man. Yeah. But what I was trying to tell everybody, I'm looking for. It's a recruiting process for me. It's a class for y'all, but it's a recruiting process for me. So I want the best people in the world, and I'm so happy for you. But if you weren't doing that, you would have been rolling with me anyway, because you would have still had the same volume of work, same thing. You know, I still ain't been to the Congo in the middle of the safari riding the elephant. Yeah, I'm gonna get on your level soon. Go ride an elephant in the Congo.
Hey, it started from you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be where I'm at now.
I love it, man. Yeah, you mean the world to me, man. And you know, we don't get to talk as much because we're both busy. But I see you. You know, hats off to you. I salute to you, and just keep on doing it. You know, and also I always tell guys, I mean, you're in the thing now. Always be thinking about the elevation, right?
That's right.
The trajectory. Where you are right now, you don't want to stay there. Even though you're making good money, you traveling the world, ride it as long as it's riding. But think about the next level. You know.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Yep. And so Raleigh is, you know, I live in Raleigh. So when you touch down, hit me up. I don't know how busy y'all gonna be, but at least let's do lunch, or y'all want to come down to the dojo where I'm working out at, or just coffee, like whatever, whiskey, whatever. I would say some other stuff, but
yeah. I'm gonna hit you for sure. So when I get some free time, I'm gonna hit you. Hopefully, you know, it'd be late nights, early mornings for me. So if I do get some free time, I'll hit you for sure.
Text me tonight and let me know what days you gonna be down here, so I can make sure that I'm here. My schedule's free.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Daryl coming too?
No, I'm on a one-man detail tomorrow.
To Raleigh?
Yep.
Tomorrow? You said tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yep.
Yeah. But you're gonna be here for 2 weeks. Oh,
I'll be there till Monday.
Okay, just let me know your downtime, man. And you flying in?
Yep.
Got a ride from the airport? You got all that taken care of?
Pick up the truck tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Well, just hit me in, man. If you got time, if you have time, I'm gonna make my schedule clear. I think I'm gonna probably great shut this down anyway, because I'm supposed to be going fishing at 4 o'clock in the morning with my neighbor.
Okay.
Well,
so not fishing, but I gotta get up.
So I'll make time for you. Is what I'm saying.
All right, cool.
All right, man.
Hey, good luck to you, man.
Thanks for jumping on.
I appreciate it, Gunner. I'll see you soon.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's it.
Peace. Yeah, that's it, man.
All right.
So you guys heard it here first. So there are advantages to coming here. Thanks, Ghost. That's Alex is up in the Boston area. Really sharp guy too, man. But there are advantages to coming to our class. A lot of people thinking it's a bank. This business is a bank. You can only get out what you put in. You heard that man say he was working at Amazon. He took his last $2,000, and ever since this class, he ain't stopped working yet. Since, and he been all over the world to some places I ain't even been.
Yep.
So just imagine that.
Yep.
So you gotta throw the dice. If you're gonna gamble on anything, gamble on yourself. They say if the investment in yourself pays the highest returns.
Right. That's right.
So, man, shit, we can end the live on that. That was icing on the cake right there.
Good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, but Gunnar, before we end, there's something else I want to ask you, right? Because I remember you talking about telly and how you started in the business, right? And I think this is a good way to end this, because I teach an executive protection class. You teach an executive protection mentoring class, right?
Yes.
How important are coaches and mentoring in this game? And from your experience starting out, all the way to now.
Mm-hmm. Extremely. I mean, listen, shoot. Kelly has been my mentor still even till today, before I ever even went into the military. 1989, right? I was only like 18, 19. And that's when he first became my mentor and guided me literally, even when I was in the Corps. I remember, at one point, and I'll say it, at one point, even going through sniper school, I wanted to quit. Right? I mean, I knew I had it in me, but it was rough. I hit him up, man, and just his conversation as a mentor was enough for me to continue to go, right, and push through. But after the military, just work from there, government and private sector. He's always been there, right? He's always been that voice of confidence, especially when I didn't have it, or when I wasn't thinking of it. Voice of reason at the same time. Wealth of knowledge, business wise, right? Because he was, obviously he was the whole business. And even still to today, right? And today, more so as an uncle brother, if you will, but even still as a mentor. So it's very important when you can grab a mentor who is truly, genuinely going to invest into your well-being, and not from a financial standpoint, right? Because even more than finance, just the time and the knowledge itself, second to none, right? And so the importance level is through the roof. The contacts that I got for him, Kelly was the reason why I started with Magic Johnson, years ago. Gosh, who else? What's the skateboard dude? I forget his name. Tommy Hawk, the skateboard. Yeah. So he was another one, right? Was only with him for like 3 months, but that came through Telly, and he guided me through that every step of the way, every day, etc. Will Smith, New York, Spike Lee, Wesley Snipes. He was the reason why I got Wesley Snipes. Ended up going, doing a couple movies with him and traveling. So stand by.
Okay. Anthony Saunders, to answer your question, young man, I would just say go back and watch this live. I would tell you to go back and watch this live and watch the young man who just jumped off, if you weren't on here, about how his life has been impacted from taking the class. So that's a self-answering question. And also there's some other people on here who have said the same thing, including MAI Strategies, Daryl Jones, Tarrant, I just saw his name, TJBMT. You only got to ask me because I don't want it to sound like I'm self-promoting anything. This thing promotes itself. All right, go ahead, Gunnar. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're good, definitely. So no, man. I mean, the mentorship aspect of it, man. It gives you not just even for instance, for like what I'm doing now, not even just from me direct, but it also gives you a brotherhood of individuals who can become mentors as well, right? On all different levels, and it's not just even from the EP standpoint, man. I mean, it's personal, it's life, it's finance, it's relationships, it's everything that comes from that, right? But obviously, we do the business side of this thing, to make a living, and hopefully to support families or ourselves, whatever the case might be. But even when they're coming through your EP class, man, don't just come through this class and just to get the training, maybe gain the knowledge. Hopefully you should be gaining the knowledge, right? But tap back in, right? Tap back in. Do check-ins. Don't be afraid to do check-ins, once a month, once a quarter. Like you said, at the end of the day, you just never know when your call, right? A student that is called back to you is going to gross them something big, so yeah, I'm gonna leave it there.
I wish everybody could just tap into a mentor, and so you want to shout out your mentoring program, because that's just part of it. Mentor, just training, and then mentoring, because these guys are going to push you. We're going to be moving out of you guys way soon.
Absolutely.
You see this grade, that's age, that's wisdom, but that's also age, and I feel young. And I just beat up some 18-year-olds in the mat in jujitsu class, so I still got it.
That's right.
But you know, when I start thinking about things, I'm thinking about now. I told you guys I've been posting in 18, 24 months. I want to cash out. You know, I want to cash out this business.
That's right.
I want to travel the world and actually enjoy some of the places that I go. So people say, "Oh, you've been there? How was it?" I say, "I don't know.
You don't know."
Flew there. I looked out the window. I said, "Oh, that's nice." I landed. I got my shit. I went to the hotel. I did my business. I got back on the plane and I came home. You know, I might ate restaurants with a principal, but other than that, I couldn't tell you what these places look like. I would like to do that with my family. You know what I mean? I would like to play here and play the drums. I would like to go fishing all day. I would like to wake up and not have to check my email. I would like to go to sleep and not have to check my email. You understand? Because as an entrepreneur, you wake up, it's never a day off, even if you are fishing. Even if you are with the family, you are still attached to this pocket computer, and it runs your fucking life. And that's not what I want to do.
That's right.
Right? And I like to go take a nap sometimes in the middle of the day. I like to go to bed at 9:30 in the night and 10 o'clock. So I don't feel old, but I'm understanding that you don't have, time is short. Time is short on this world, right? And most people, they say the retirement age now is 67 in the government.
Yep.
So they want you to walk out the door and down on the way down the stairs. Pretty much. You understand what I'm saying? But as entrepreneurs, you have control of your own destiny. You can say whenever you want to. And that's my play. But I want to get as many of myself, people like Gunner and myself, we want to get you guys, many of you as possible, to get your businesses up and running. Teach you the executive protection game, to teach you how to grow your business, teach you how to interact with other professionals, to teach you how to do the executive protection work. So where people, when you say your prices, they just say, okay, send me the invoice.
Sure.
That's it. But you guys got to really entrench yourself in this. And so the other day, and you guys can watch this too, because I was really wiped out after the Diddy trial. Everybody, the content creators, it was a lot. I met a lot of people with millions of followers. They was giving me, game because I'm going now to another game. So they understand the game of content creation. A lot of times I'm sitting down with pajamas on and a shirt with a tie on, but they up all night. And so, I was shooting my content of the Diddy trial, but I would get back on the train and go to see, all about this. The Sea Caucus, had to get off the Sea Caucus, then drive to my hotel. And then when I get there, I'm like, shit, I ain't ate. Let me eat something. Let me take a shower. Oh, it's almost 1 o'clock. Let me just go to sleep so I can get up and be back down in Manhattan at 5 o'clock or 5:30 in the morning. So I get back down to Manhattan at 5:30 in the morning. I'm checking my phone on the train. These people that I was up with late at night, these motherfuckers done like, excuse my language, they done like 20 videos. At night, they talking like this. And I said, well, what time did they go to sleep? You know what I'm saying? So they didn't go to sleep because that's their game. And these content creators are making $500,000 a month. Some of them $500,000 a month to create content.
All day.
So they were giving me game, and these now are my mentors in the game. They telling me what to do, and they not only telling me, they doing just like you and I. They're showing me. Even if it's not physically saying, hey, this is it, I'm looking at them. I'm looking at their work ethic. And so the last day, a lot of them had already got their stuff off. I'm like, I got a couple thousand views, but these people got 100,000 views, 40,000 views at one. What? So the last day before I left, they said, all right, man, we going to the bar. We gonna get a drink. We're gonna kind of celebrate, hang out. I said, I already saw what y'all was doing. I took my camera, I stood right out front of the courthouse, put it on a tripod, and I talked for an hour straight on YouTube Live.
That's right.
Then I got on the train as I was walking through his thing or two about character influence, and I'm walking through the Penn Station in New York, and these group of police officers, they stand together and they start looking at me. And as I walked past, one of them stepped out and he's put his hand out, shake my hand. He said, I watch all of your stuff. I watch all your content. I want to come to one of your classes.
That's right.
Followed me to the train. Talked to me on the train. We went to sit. Then he got off and I went to see. I was supposed to be going to see Car because I was so tired. I missed my stop. I was talking to some other people. I ended up in Newark. Had to go back, get off, get back on, get back to Newark. And I was so exhausted. My clothes was drenched. I took them off. I had a pair of shorts in my truck. I set out in the parking lot, right? And this is, I guess, probably a good way to end this. I set out in the parking lot, and I encourage all of you guys to watch that video. And I was just thinking, reflecting over the experience that I had covering this Diddy trial and the people that I met, and to see their success at what they were doing, but also my success at what I was doing. And also, I'm going to talk about this later. I met some of the Diddy people, some of the people that they were talking about as co-conspirators. Fahim was one of them. What they said about that man has to be impossible. This man had the most clean-cut, professional character that he reminded me of people like you and I. Yeah. I said, nah, this man, he's not capable. Anybody's capable, but if he had no reason to fool me. We had a long conversation. And he knew who I was too. He had no reason to try to sell himself as something different that he was. And he came off as a person of good moral character to me.
That's all right.
Yeah, I could be wrong. So, and I'll talk about that tomorrow. But so here's what I did. I sat down in that parking lot and I thought about all of the successful people I was around, the content creators. I thought about what I was doing. I thought about the class I had did 2 weeks before in New York with MAI Strategies, and the good brothers that were there in New York who came and invested their time and money to spend with me. And I sat down in that parking lot and I just was reflecting on that. And then at the end, I don't even know how, man, I just got really emotional. And actually, I cried in the daggone video, man. I was like, at the end, I was just telling people, what does it take to be the best in the game at what you are?
Right.
And you said this, and I know this to be true about you, and I say this about myself. And the way I came up with my logo for my YouTube channel, the GOAT, is because I really wanted to antagonize some of them people who've been hating. Now, I'm one of the best in the world at what I do. One of the best. And I know you one of the best because I work with you. You know what I'm saying? I've been around with you. So I was reflecting on that moment, and I was talking about Mount Everest. And I was talking about if we decided to climb Mount Everest. Did you see that video?
I think I did see it.
Yeah. With Mount Everest, if one person catches the helicopter and the other person climbs, who's going to stay up there the longest? It's the person who did the climbing. Everybody else want to get to the top. All they're going to do is just what you see now. They get with celebrities. They take pictures, selfies. Oh, this nice. Yeah, look at me. Look at me.
Yep.
Okay, take me down.
Yep.
But the person who actually put the work in, they're going to sit up there.
Yes, sir.
And if there's not a higher mountain to climb, they might live up there. Because I've done something great, and I ain't going nowhere. In this game, I ain't going nowhere. Can't nobody dethrone me. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about.
They can't throw me. I'm going to come down when I want to come down.
That's right.
And that's 24 months. And so that's what I had to say about that.
That's what's
Y'all
up.
go back and watch that video. And I actually cried at the end and had to cut the damn camera. I started thinking, I said, should I erase this shit? I'm going to be crying on camera. You know what I mean?
Because that shows the human aspect in you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't make you, excuse my language on this one, but it doesn't make you a punk, a pussy, weak, any of that, right? No. It shows the human aspect. Because at the end of the day, you try it, you can get it, right? But I'm going to show you I'm still human. Period. I think a lot of us are out here trying to live or give this persona that, that we're, the Marvel or DC characters that are made up, and we're not. So we are still human. We still feel, we still, move. We're emotional and everything at the same time. But, with respect to our professions and what we do, we're good. We're great. And it's just as simple as that. You get some surgeons that are okay, some that are good, and some that are great. And the ones that are great are the ones who get the calls.
Yeah.
Right? But you don't hear, they don't advertise it all the time because they don't have to. The ones who are good and average are the ones who are advertising all the time because they need it. You see what I'm saying? So, and people wonder, well, damn, how's Czar and Gunny, doing what they do and getting all this work and this, that, and other thing. I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Right? I don't need to say it. I leave it there, man. But nah, man, I mean, even with, respect to the mentor, side of things, like I told you in the conversation we had a few weeks ago, man, you've been a mentor to me.
Thank you, bro.
Even in business with you, right? And like I've said, man, I mean, it could have a different way had our lives not crossed back when they did years ago, right? Could have been a different way,
Yeah. Wow.
right? Could have been a
Right.
different way. Um, but from a coaching standpoint, from a partner standpoint, from a mentor standpoint, from a business standpoint, I listen. I give the credit where it's due. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And so, you go through shit in life, man. You go through bullshit in life, and you allow people and things and this here Instagram and the people that you don't know and who don't know you, and then even some of the ones who do, you allow them to influence, and that's where that word influencer comes from, right?
Yes,
You allow
sir.
them to influence, some of your thinking, some of your movement. Sometimes you may allow, folks to get in and step in the way for their own benefit. And sometimes them stepping in the way is on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, they see greatness in two different levels, but now they're
Mm-hmm.
trying to determine what side of greatness will I end up on,
Mm-hmm.
this great
Mm-hmm.
side or that great side.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's where the Judas part comes in. And when the Judas part comes in, things happen. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as disciples to who we are and what we
Woo.
do, we allow Judases, let me say that,
Mm-hmm.
to step in between
Mm-hmm.
that, which then bought other
Mm-hmm.
things, right, in between that. But at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, here we are. You know what I mean? Here we are. So mentorship is great.
Yeah.
And everything that comes with it. You know what I mean? Not just from the business standpoint, but um I know I gotta jump off here in a second, but
Yeah, me too.
um yeah, no, man. So the mentorship program, man, is the Omega Star Protector Services mentorship program. You can go to the website omegastarprotect.com slash executive dash protection, and you can sign up for one. Actually, we haven't even posted the next sessions, but we do have a private one coming up in a couple of weeks in July. And so if there's individuals that do want to jump on that, there is still a little room, but you'll see the next schedule is really coming up for August and through the rest of the year. But I will end with this with respect to that. There's been guys that's come through the the executive protection mentorship program, some that have actually even been, to Mr. Key's school over at MVP, and others that we've been able to put to work. And when I say put to work, they've been able to put themselves to work. Because one thing I do tell guys coming out is, don't come to it expecting to get work, but come to it expecting to learn, improve yourself, because you're being
Mm-hmm.
put in front of real clients live on actual live details. And all it takes is for you to actually show who you are. And again, I always talk about Tiffany. I'm sure some of you may have heard me talk about her. Picked up back in February, 2 years, $250,000 a year. She's making 500 grand in 2 years, and she's going between California and Sunny Isles, Florida. But that's just one. But that's because she showed who she was, not just from her capabilities, but who she is from her character, et cetera, and how she actually operates, and then her past performance, et cetera, got her signed. Um, and then there's been guys who've, come through after that, as recent as last month, um, that are being, put to work and given work, jobs, and opportunities, some of which who are on other clients. So but at the same time, these are folks that we talk to every some of them every day, right? Well, I ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna say every day, but at least a couple days a week, um, about a lot of different things. And I tell guys all the time, if you need to tap in, right? Don't just tap in, uh, for the sake of doing it, right? But tap in with a purpose.
Right.
And that's what they've been doing. So, you know, it's been great. You know, I can't wait to get out to what the next class, whenever that is. But you gonna say, you gonna tell when that one is? Have you
Yeah.
come up?
Also,
Okay.
the next class is already up. I was going to release the date on on June 28th, but I paused the date because I got that call for the 60-day thing. So the next class, I know I got a big detail in December, so I'll be pulling some of you guys in on it. I mean, not December, in September. So I'm kind of trying to stay away from September. If it is September, it's going to be late September, early in October. And even if I do, these people come back and decide they're going to pay the money for the 60-day detail, I'm still going to do the class. I'll just jump off the detail. I like to be on something that big. I like to be overwatching, you know what I'm saying, making sure that it goes right. Even though I got people like Candy God, I wanted to, Candy God, if y'all not following her, make sure you follow her. Candy God,
Oh yeah,
sharp person, one female, one of the best females I've ever seen to do this,
absolutely.
right? And she works now executive protection for South Carolina down at the state capitol, with the state capitol of South Carolina.
Very nice.
So very want her. I run details with her. She was on that detail with that high level. I can tell you guys, it was the Secretary of the Army. And Candace, if you work with me, the people that work with me, they had the autonomy to fire anybody. We hold each other accountable. I don't have to be around. If they see somebody out of line on the detail, they gonna step to you and they gonna correct you. If you don't get it together, you're gonna be gone. And they can come back and tell me, you know, hey, I saw Gunner was in there. I told him, and I was okay. He gone. That's it. You can get kicked detail by anybody on my detail.
That's right.
Because that's how we keep it together and keep it tight. So, yeah. So the next class is going to be, I'm shooting for the end of September, and then that'll be Washington D.C. So we're bringing it back to Washington D.C. and then Miami in the beginning of November. Those are the two classes. So I'm gonna go ahead and post the class regardless of that detail come up or not. All I need to do is activate the link so people can register. So go to my website, www.trustinmvp.com, trustinmvp.com, and look up the training link and you'll see those classes. And the last part on there is that my name on it on YouTube has changed. It's now at the-GOAT TV. That's what it is. So I changed. It's not the way I see it anymore. Trying to make it a little bit more simple, kind of align with the logo, and that's what it is. And then let me just acknowledge Mr. Oh Boy X. What's good, everyone? I'm just soaking in the knowledge. Man, you're a student of the game, and that's why you are where you are. And Terrence, I love you too, man. I know you missed the class down there. But I got a lot of sharp people on here, man. Not to belabor the point, my phone been dying. It's 12 o'clock. I'm supposed to be going fishing in the morning. I think I'm going to text my next neighbor now and just tell him, let's do it Thursday morning versus now, because I still got some stuff to do. And let's do this again. I'm going to move over to YouTube, too, but we probably should do it for the YouTube audience. Okay. And you guys who are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to my channel. I got a lot of dope-ass content over there. And I say watching some of my stuff is just like going to the class, because you're going to learn. I give you things to compare to. I point out the arrows where people should have been, what they did wrong, that people being assassinated, humiliated. And these are the things that we actually do. So take out your ego, learn the game, and you'll be one of the best at the game.
That's it.
All right.
What's up, X?
Thank you. You see him?
Yes, sir. I'll see you, X.
Yep. Y'all make sure you follow Mr. Old Boy, too. Jones Dynasty. Y'all make sure y'all follow these people. I got to get off, man. I love you guys. Thank you guys for staying on and watching Gunner. I will call you tomorrow, and let's wrap it up, man. I'm sure we got to catch up on some things.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.
All right.
All right.